Hi Chelsea fans, Chelsea staff there with another update with the latest Chelsea news and Chelsea transfer news updates. And it's all about three players today: Fikayo Tomori, Declan Rice and Erling Haaland. All this in just a 5-minute video. Let's get cracking. So I want to talk about the possibility of two signings into the club, but first and foremost, Fikayo Tomori. And it looks as though his deal to join AC Milan on loan is going to be pushed through with an option to buy for just 25 million, which I think is scandalous. I think Fikayo Tomori's up there as the first choice backup for me to Thiago Silva and Kurt Zuma. Still need to find out what was wrong with Kurt Zuma on the weekend, why he didn't feature and Tony Rudiger did. But for me, Tomori's up there. He's ahead of Rudiger, he's ahead of Christensen. But it looks as though Chelsea, with Frank Lampard talking last week, stating that he wants to keep him at Chelsea long term and he's part of his thought process moving forward. Looks as though that's all changed with an option to buy for just 25 million, which, as I said earlier, scandalous. What do you guys think of Tomori? What do you think of him going out on loan? And what do you think of a possible deal, 25 million? So let's start with Declan Rice, who is reportedly interested in Man United as well with a possible bid. Whether it's going to be this month or at the end of the season is unclear, as with the reported interest by Chelsea. As far as David Moyes is concerned, he doesn't want to see any bids for Declan Rice and hopes that he stays. He's been talking positively of him being the captain and taking more of a burden from Mark Noble. He's good around the football club. David Moyes is hoping that West Ham offer him a new contract. If anything, West Ham will probably be looking to do sooner rather than later. But what of the link to Chelsea and Man United's interest? I think it's clear that if he's given an opportunity to come to Chelsea and Chelsea given the option to talk to him by West Ham with a bid accepted, which could be in the light of around £80 million, then I think Declan Rice will jump at the chance to come back to Chelsea with a point to prove, having been released by Chelsea previously. We've seen reports from around the media stating that Chelsea's hierarchy are not so sure that Declan Rice is the ideal signing, bearing in mind it was a decision made previously that he just wasn't quite good enough to make it at Chelsea, so he was released. There are sources stating that the same people have still got the same doubts about Declan Rice. But one thing Declan Rice will give you is midfield stability and assurance in the middle of midfield, whatever, or even in the back four, because we all know he can play as a centre-back in addition to playing centre midfield. Chelsea are lacking a defensive midfielder of someone with a defensive instinct. We've got N'Golo Kanté. I don't think Jorginho's that player. Mateo Kovacic certainly isn't that player, first and foremost, nor is Mason Mount. Ethan Ampadu sees his position more as a centre-back these days, as he has been playing recently for Sheffield United. So Declan Rice could be the answer to filling the gaps in Chelsea's squad and Frank Lampard's plans moving forward. As I say, it's probably going to cost around £80 million to try and get a deal done, with Chelsea looking to shift some players out first, with the likes of Jorginho as a possible option, in addition to maybe Ross Barkley. Sell those two for around 50, 60, even 70 million between them. You've then got money to make a bid for Rice. What do you think of Declan Rice? Do you think he's a good target for Chelsea? Do you think his defensive, sort of natural defensive instincts in the middle of midfield would benefit Chelsea and Frank Lampard moving forward? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, the man that's making all the headlines at the moment is Erling Haaland, the 20-year-old forward over at Dortmund. 35 appearances, 35 goals. He's got a minimum fee release clause that doesn't kick in till next season of £66 million. And it's believed that Chelsea, among others, a whole host of other clubs in Europe, are looking to try and prize him away from Dortmund as early as this summer. With the release clause not being activated until next season, it's going to take a lot more money than 66 million, it's been reported, for Chelsea to get in there and try and sign Erling Haaland. Olivier Giroud will probably leave the club at the end of the season, leaving just two strikers at Chelsea, with sources such as The Athletic quoting that Chelsea are going to try and make him a priority. It's going to cost a lot of money to try and get Erling Haaland to sign for Chelsea and for Dortmund to sell him before that £66 million release fee kicks in. There is one thing of note though. Erling Haaland was asked recently in an interview on TV if there's one player that he would love to have played with, and he named that player to be Frank Lampard. Maybe Frank might have some sway if we get to a point where we can have negotiations with the player himself. And I wonder, is there any real substance in this? How much do you think it's going to take to prize Erling Haaland away from Borussia Dortmund? And is he someone you want to see in a Chelsea shirt? Let me know in the comments section below. That's it, guys, for me, the 5-minute Chelsea news and Chelsea transfer news update here at Chelsea Staffed. Let me know what you think about anything discussed in the video in the comments section. Drop a like on the video for me, and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when my videos come out. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you all next time.